So, search efforts at the collapsed five-story building in George in the Western Cape continue well into the second week. The building caved in last week Monday with 81 construction workers on site.
33 people, who are 27 men and 6 women, have died, while 19 others still remain unaccounted for. Only 18 of the victims have been positively identified. 7 are from South Africa, 5 from Malawi, 3 from Zimbabwe, and 2 from Mozambique and 1 from Lesotho. The George municipality thanked communities and organizations for food donations for the affected families. A prayer was set to be held at around quarter past 7 this morning. This is following a request by a family member of one of the victims. And our reporter Sipha Kema joins us now from the construction site. Sipha, very good morning to you. Thank you so much for making time for us. Did that prayer service go underway?
Well, Aldrin, it wasn't a prayer service as such, but it was the family of Andile Magbalisa coming to collect his spirit from the construction site where he breathed his last breath. That's part of the cultural process with Amaxhosa, where if an individual passes away far from home or not at home, then they have to come to the site and then collect their spirit as they drive him home, because his family right now is actually on their way to Etlesi, which is between East London and Port Alfred, and that's where they're taking him to his final resting place. We saw the family coming in, his wife and his children, as well as another member of his family accompanying his children and his wife as they drove off. So it did happen this morning as they came in here, and we saw them, talking there by the construction site, talking to his spirit and then they led him back home. But now, Elgin, this shows that the process for most families has started now. Preparation to bury their loved ones has just started. But unfortunately, there are those that are still waiting for the identification process. Now, as you mentioned, that 18 now have been identified, 14 men and 4 women. And the breakdown, South Africans, 7 have been identified so far. 3 Zimbabweans have been identified so far. Lesotho 1, Malawi 5, Mozambique 2. And the identification process still continues, Aldrin, especially with your DNA matching, fingerprint analysis as well is going to be quite crucial at this point, as we do believe that some of the deceased, they did not have any families coming forward to claim their bodies.
Yeah, and Sipha, just quickly on the 19 that are still unaccounted for, is there any change in strategy in trying to save them, if there are any survivors, or even recover the bodies of those who may have deceased?
Well, right now, Aldrin, the process is the rescue teams are meticulously combing through the scene. And how are they doing that? They're doing it by layer by layer, level by level. As remember that this was a 5-story building, and as it came down, concave down, all those slabs coming from different levels. So the strategy before, when they were talking about starting the demolition process, they started demolishing, and then from there on they started lifting up those slabs or rubbles of the slabs that was left over and moving layer by layer. Yesterday we know that they were on the 2nd level. Now remember, they still need to get down all the way to basement level, because they've been informed and been told by the survivors, by some of the survivors, that there were people who were down at basement level, some were even down on the ground level. So that's where they need to get, and that's where the rescue teams believe that the remaining 19 could be in those different areas of the basement level and the ground floor as well.
Sipha Kema, they're joining us from George on Victoria Road, following the collapse of that building. And of course, it is the 2nd week now of trying to retrieve some of those bodies, and perhaps maybe a miracle of some of the survivors.